And we are live. Me, myself, AJ Switek, and Joshua Melvin, live from the South Gym, our 5th straight game on air. Josh, I don't know how we're doing it, man. We are doing a great job. Proud of you, proud of the entire York Sports Network for putting on such a great show. Really thankful for all of our viewers, listeners, watchers, however you tune into the York Sports Network. We are thankful for what you do for us. Recently ellipsing 1,000 subs as that ball nearly ends all of YSN, taking out the soundboard, but it doesn't, and possession will go with St. Patrick's. For the St. Patrick's team, coached by head coach Mike Bailey, all 5 starters between numbers 23 and 32, all on the floor. There's number 25, Sergio Rivera, a name to watch, gives it off to Adorno.
Interesting look here for Batavia. Batavia known for their colors being kind of like a darker maroon and yellow, but their basketball team seems to have the colors of bright red and black. 3-point attempt.
That is good. Knocked down by number 22, Charlie Saul, the senior guard listed at 6 foot, gets that one to go. Now St. Patrick going the other way. Bryant Hanley gives it up. Oh, foul, but recovered by Andrew Ayeni. Ayeni gives up to Adorno. Adorno trying to go to work. Pizza Adorno, good pass inside, will lead to free throws and 2 shots from the line. That foul comes against Batavia's Trent Tusana, the 5'11 senior guard's first on the night. First foul for either team, and that one's off the mark. Gets the second one to go. 3-1 now is the margin of error.
Yes, the noted margin of error between teams.
Now here comes Batavia with it.
6'9" forward, number 42.
Austin Ambrose.
Tallest player I think we've commentated about so far.
So many teams in this tournament bring so much length, so much height, and it's just crazy to see. I mean, so many teams that you wouldn't otherwise normally see coming together for the Jack Tosh tournament. It really is entertaining, and Austin Ambrose is the face of something like that, the 6'9 senior listed at center. He's trying to fight for the offensive rebound and does! That is not fair! Able to go over 2 St. Patrick's defenders, put it up off the offensive glass, and go up 5-1. Now the quick corner answer off the mark. Going back with Batavia, and this is some of the loudest basketball I have heard in the South Gym. The Batavia bench is big, and we talked before the game, very interesting having an 18-man roster, but they are certainly into it because the volume in this gym is loud.
Another pair of brothers here, Jack and Alex Ambrose. Jack currently on the bench. Alex probably going to be starting with that height, definitely, and he is. Offensive rebound again, put it back up. Great under the basket layup there by number 3. That's going to be Ethan Ivan here with the under the basket layup.
Now fouled
blocking
on the way up. He'll go up and shoot 2. Is number 32, Andrew Ayeni. Foul comes against number 3, Ethan Ivan, his first, team second. Misses the first. Second one now on the way and off as well. This Batavia bench is loud. They are into it. They're making their presence heard, and they are up 7-1.
Going into the tournament, these are both 2 very good teams.
Blocks by St. Patrick.
Batavia 8-2 with a plus 139 going in, and then St. Patrick 7-3 with a plus 112 going into the tournament.
As that shot is up and good from Tamaris Brown, really just making his presence heard there. Just the bigger guy, able to get up by the rim and put it in. That corner three off the mark, nearly an offensive rebound, and it is. Austin Ambrose, the 6'9" center with very, very long arms, huge wingspan, able to reach, get on the court, and get an offensive rebound. But the jump ball is forced, and the ball will go with St. Patrick. Now off the inbound, looked like Allende wanted to get rid of it, but forced to keep it himself. First time we've seen Nico Soriano in the game. It's number 11 for the St. Patrick roster. Inside now, looking to take a fadeaway jumper. That one hits back iron and off. Batavia basketball. Open from the wing. No, that one's off the mark from Ethan Ivan, and going the other way yet again is St. Patrick. The Shamrocks going to work. Batavia looking for some magic of their own from the volleyball line. That one's off as well. Both teams generating open looks, just not capitalizing with a combined 10 points halfway through this first quarter. Going the other way now is Batavia, finishing at the rim and doing so well. That's Ethan Ivan. We've already said his name many times tonight. He's up to 3 points after that made free throw and layup.
9-3 score, 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Well, here comes the Shamrocks offense going to work. We recently had a little pool with our people here up in the booth of who we thought had the coolest mascot in the tournament, and my vote did go to the St. Patrick Shamrocks. Very cool, awesome jerseys. And as for Batavia, they had very stylish warm-ups, rocking the Indiana Hoosier pants with some digi camo on top. Josh said it hurt his eyes. I said it was cool. I guess it just depends on what you're looking for in a warm-up jersey. But regardless, you're not tuning in to listen to our takes on mascots and warm-up uniforms. You're tuning in for the action, and the action is stopped. The first match timeout of the game is called. Batavia on top 9-3 over the St. Patrick Shamrocks, and we will be back after this timeout.
If you are wondering, you are probably just tuning in after that Lake Forest Rolling Meadows game, but if you were not and you were just here the whole time, Rolling Meadows moves on in the tournament bracket as Lake Forest drops by 49-54 is the score in favor of Rolling Meadows.
Correct, and as you mentioned, they move on in the winner's bracket. This game you're tuning into right now is a part of the consolation ladder. Both these teams already lost once in the Jack Tosh tournament. Both these teams came in really favorited. They both had really good schedules and good opponents, but they came in with really good records, and that's what matters. They faced hard teams, and they came away with wins in those games. So although this isn't a game in the winner's bracket like the Rolling Meadows one aforementioned or the Lamont game, if you just tuned into them, me and Josh's call, this is still a very coveted matchup, and the consolation champion, although it doesn't get a plaque in the Dick Campbell gym like the regular champion does, it still gets talked about, and it's nothing to scoff at. So we will see which one of these teams is able to advance here as the timeout comes to a close.
Back here, St. Patrick Shamrocks ball.
Sergio Rivera gives it up to Nico Soriano, nearly turned over, but the Shamrocks recover. Rivera with it. This is an offense that loves the ball movement, but this time it doesn't work out. We'll have an odd man rush going the other way with the Bulldogs. That shot is good. Yes, it will be an and one with the blocking foul. He'll go to the line to shoot free throw. That's already the second foul on St. Patrick Shamrock, number 20, Nathan Nano.
AJ Sanders into the game. 5'10" senior guard for Batavia. All other starters. Actually, Josh Denault, 6'2" senior forward, coming in for Batavia as well.
Now it's Tamaris Brown with it. Fading away, no. This time the rebound goes with Batavia.
Big Dirk leg kick there.
Bulldogs going the other way, led by Trent Tusana. Tusana gives it up to Charlie Saul. Back to Tusana for three, no good. Rebound goes with the Shamrocks. Brendan Adorno, not a name we heard since early in the first. Finally gets the ball back in his hands, gives it up to Andrew Ayeni.
Elijah Breland, the only bench player to come on so far for St. Patrick.
Not the only one. Nico Soriano and Nathan Nano did also get time, but the only one currently out there. St. Patrick's team already using a lot of their depth early. Clearly confident in what they have coming off the bench. Same with Batavia. Both teams making lots of substitutions early during free throws, and oh, that's a hard thought and a clear foul. That foul comes against number 22 of the Bulldogs, Charlie Saul. Just absolutely put a Shamrock on the ground.
Coming in is number 12, J.P. Cheney. Going out is the big man, Austin Ambrose.
First time we've seen Ambrose off for a potential extended period of time. We'll see how this Bulldogs offense runs without them. He really hasn't maintained the basketball too much thus far, but the 6'9" player always makes his presence heard with that kind of height. Now that shot's just off the mark from Adorno. He goes to the ground and he's fouled yet again. This foul comes against number 12, the aforementioned J.P. Cheney. And yet again, the Shamrocks will get a chance to inbound with a chance to capitalize, trailing by 8. Working, and that's a travel. As you mentioned, Tamaris Brown drawing a bit of a comparison to Dirk Nowitzki with his play style there. I saw it again. Real lengthy. He likes to shoot with his size, but that time, just a moving base without any feet set. That is a clear as day travel. And as you mentioned, the rest of this level have really been cracking down on that this tournament.
Need to set your base before you make any basketball moves with the ball in your hands. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
Trent Tusana now with it. Giving it to the corner. Tusana gives it to the corner yet again. His offense trying to attack that baseline and doing so semi-successfully. Tusana all the way inside. Finds the open guy in the corner on the skip pass. No. Great play by Tusana to find the open guy midair, but the Shamrocks able to capitalize on a missed shot, and they will have possession going the other way. Mid-range jumper off the mark. Recovery goes to the Shamrocks. Another offensive rebound. This team has had so many attempts, but none of them are seeming to fall. Yet another look from the Shamrocks. Yet again, it's off the mark.
Timeout here looking like...
It's an official's timeout as you see attention going to Tamaris Brown on the sideline.
looks like his knee is in pain. It's already in a brace. So that is scary for the Shamrocks if they want to go any further in this consolation bracket.
And very visible frustration from him, but for the time being, Brian Hanley will sub into the game for him. Trent Tusano with it now, and 35 seconds remaining now. No need to rush if you're Batavia. Already have an 8-point lead, and without a shot clock, they have potential to hold for the last shot here. Tusano to Taylor. Gets it across court. That ball, very risky, high skip pass. Likely could have been Solon just to get it to Saul. Back to Tusano, trying to direct traffic. We're now under 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 6 seconds. The shot gets put up, and it's no good. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds left. St. Patrick with the shot. Will be good if it goes, but it is well short. And really, that was the summary of that first quarter there, all in one shot. St. Patrick's had multiple attempts. The Shamrocks really had all sorts of opportunities, and the fact that they have 3 points on the board is utterly unacceptable. They have had all sorts of opportunities to score, but haven't been able to. But a lot of that goes to credit for this Bulldogs defense, because none of the looks have been too easy.
Yeah, no amazing looks for St. Patrick so far today, but as you said, they haven't been converting on any looks, really. I mean, how can you convert on any looks if you only got 3 points? You know, obviously you're not hitting your shots there, and that's unfortunate because this St. Patrick's team has not been playing awfully, right? When you look at 3 points, you think of that that Conant game versus Lions Township where they're getting blown out the entire time. This St. Patrick's team is not super outclassed by this Batavia team, and hopefully St. Patrick's able to come back and make it competitive, because both teams are well above 500 and have well above a plus 100 point differential, but I don't think that's the case anymore with St. Patrick, because they had the unfortunate task of playing against Glenbard West yesterday, if you watched that game here on York Sports Network. When I checked in right before I had to leave, they were down 19-0 to Glenbard West, and the St. Patrick's teams come out here and their offense has not looked good in the beginning in this game either. Bringing out the ball here is Charlie Saul right in front of us. No new players, it looks like. Back to the starting lineup, I think, for Batavia. Number 34 is your new player that's Anthony Thomas that's a sophomore, getting minutes here for St. Patrick.
Oh, and the great finish inside. Austin Ambrose gets back in the game, and his presence is instantly heard. The 6'9" senior center gets it in, and Batavia quickly calls a timeout afterwards. With 7:50 to go in this second quarter, York Sports Network, your place for all Jack Tosh coverage. AJ Swiatek, Joshua Melvin will be right back after this break. And following that timeout, we are back. St. Patrick's in the green and white, moving inside and doing so successfully is Andrew Ayeni. Ayeni gets his first points of the night and cuts this lead down to single digits.
Oh, nice steal here. Anthony Thomas, the sophomore.
Oh, and that was clean. Really good play by Josh Dendart there. Able to get inside, get a hand in cleanly, and prevent what would have been a really easy 2 points. Regardless, ball does stay with the Shamrocks.
Fakes the 3, nearly loses the handle, gets the one-handed floater. Now good, short again. Seems like they're short-arming a lot of their close shots here, hitting the front of the rim.
There's just no way the Shamrocks are shooting over 10% from the field thus far. Now it's the Bulldogs with it. Corner 3. They are shooting well. That one is good. Alex Taylor knocks it down for his points. First points of the outing. Much more spread scoring from Batavia, and then timeout forced by St. Patrick's. I'll tell you one immediate difference you notice between these teams. Both have 18-player rosters, which are likely the two biggest rosters in the tournament. The Batavia bench is into it. The St. Patrick's one, not so much.
Yeah, I cannot stop hearing that Batavia bench when they are on defense, but it's basically quiet whenever St. Patrick's there on defense. The energy is just not there from their team, and you can look at their head coach right now is really trying to get Mike Bailey is really trying to get their team pumped up, waving his arms everywhere, pointing at people, getting all angered with this team, because when you put up 5 points so far, that is not good. You are also down 11 points. Not the best deficit, trying to get his team fired up to go on a run to finish the second half, hopefully, or finish the first half in a lead, or at least make it close.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more there, Josh. And now with 6:55 to go in this second quarter, St. Patrick's will try to do just that.
Solarino comes back on for the Shamrocks.
Soriano with it now. And there's a travel. Didn't set his base before he moved. That travel call against Anthony Thomas. He's had a rough couple goes there on the offensive end.
Then he goes to the bench.
He does.
Out comes...
The St. Patrick's head coach, Mike Bailey. I remember commenting on him in the last Jack Tosh tournament I did when I was a sophomore. He has been coaching there for quite a while. He's trying to build something with this program. And right now, going into this tournament, he had his team playing extremely well, and you can't blame a team for a loss to Glenbard West, but you can for a team like Batavia, but you can't blame them for a dunk like that. Bryant Hanley knocks it down, and the lead is yet again back to single digits.
Maybe we'll start out of bounds there. No push call. Surprised by that. I thought the whistle was going to be a push call. Substitution here. Out comes number 3. In goes number 2. Out goes specifically Ethan Ivan. Comes back would be Josh Denault back in the game. Driving right, kicks out to the corner, back up to the top.
Going inside, back out. St. Patrick's team clearly fazed by this Batavia defense. It's hard to get open looks against a team that's so shifty.
Very active offense here for St. Patrick. You know, they are passing a lot around the three-point line, but there's no endless
and that's a deep three from the big. Number 30, Tamaris Brown off the mark, and here comes the Bulldogs.
Kicks it over. They're going in there 1-3-1 as well. Foul there, blocking. Called, not happy with the call, as most people are when a foul gets called on them. Already 5 fouls for Batavia, and that's only the second foul there off of, 5 fouls for Batavia, only second foul for St. Patrick.
Now it's Batavia with the basketball again, looking to get this lead back to double digits. Won't be able to do so there. That's out of bounds. And just as I said, the St. Patrick's bench wasn't that into it. They certainly are now. They're raring to go. Both teams letting each other hear it. And that's what happens when you roster such a large group of guys. You're really able to generate noise all on your own, regardless of the fan turnout. Oh, but the errant pass. Brandon Adorno trying to hit Tamaris Brown outside, throws it too far to his left, and that will be Batavia basketball.
AJ and I have different opinions here. We would like to get your take on it. Do you like the shoe game, the differentiality of St. Patrick's? They get the steal there. The man with very cool shoes,
That's a
Bryant.
3-ball. No, St. Patrick's team continues. They've had the open looks, but could not finish them, and I'll finish what Josh was saying there as well. Do you prefer how all of Batavia is rocking the same shoes as I do, or do you like Josh's theory that teams that wear their own shoes, show off their own style, are a little flashier? I think the Batavia shoe game is cool. Josh said he thought it was weak. I was surprised, but we'd like to hear any of your opinions on that thought in the comment section down below.
As every single shoe on the court for St. Patrick is a sick shoe. I'd like to point out Bryant Handley's. I love those yellow, I think Kyrie's, I want to say. Very cool. Back to basketball.
There you go. Now it's Brian Hanley with it. The guy with the yellow shoes hits the floater. The lead is down to 7.
Four minutes remaining in the second half. Travel once again.
Second quarter, rather.
Both of these teams are not setting their base. Neither of them. There's been a lot of travels called here, a lot of travel violations being called because no one is setting their base before they make a basketball move.
Now going the other way, trying to capitalize with the Shamrocks with a lot of momentum. Nico Soriano gives it up to Yeni.
Looks like a travel there, but they're just going to call a shooting foul.
That shooting foul will send Andrew Ayeni to the line. Foul comes against Alex Taylor, number 13. That's his first, team's 6th, which means from this point forward, the Shamrocks will be in the bonus. Now, prior to his trip to the line, there is a timeout called by head coach Mike Bailey of the Shamrocks. And with that timeout, we'll take a break for ourselves. 3:56 to go in the second quarter. AJ Swiatek, Joshua Melvin. We'll be right back after this break. We are back. Both teams leaving the huddle following that timeout break. The Shamrocks trailing at 9-16 with 3:56 to go in the second quarter. If you're just tuning in, York Sports Network, your place for all York sports, and Jack Tosh coverage is back from that timeout. It's Andrew Ayeni at the line. Has 2 points on the day, make it 3.
Down to a 6-point deficit here. 2 possessions back within again as St. Patrick has started to hit at least some of those shots.
Ayeni makes both at the line. A successful trip to the charity stripe cuts the lead to 4. Bulldogs, we'll see if they up the pressure at all here. They've been going very slow, and St. Patrick's has been taking advantage of that on the defensive end. Alex Taylor yet again tries to slow it down, but that's just ripped away by Brandon Adorno. Now it's Soriano with it. Nearly a turnover there, but a recovery. And they get it back outside, reset the offense to Brandon Adorno. Giving to Tamaris Brown. Back to Andrew Ayeni. Trying to go to work inside, spinning, no, that's off the mark from Hanley.
Way too strong, looking for the foul there. One of those shots where I think he just foul called. That looked pretty
Hanley
clean.
fouls back on his own side. That's only St. Patrick's 3rd foul. Generally a very well-disciplined team under long-tenured head coach Mike Bailey.
Out comes Hanley.
Now it's the Bulldogs with it yet again. Trent Tusano with it. This team that seemed so star-studded in the first quarter has definitely slowed down. Inside, no foul. He wanted a call, didn't get it, but fortunately for him, it will stay Batavia Bulldogs basketball.
In comes the man with my favorite shoes. Just to talk about shoes real quick, is the sophomore, Anthony Anthony Thomas, if English escapes me, playing defense there with the purple and gold Kobe's.
Great no-look pass. That was a beautiful feed to the corner and a beautiful finish by Trent Tusana. The Batavia Bulldogs rocking all matching sneakers, still out on top. Brandon Adorno with it. Gives it to Morris Brown. Trying to reset the offense. This is a team that loves those swing passes. I'm a fan of that kind of offense. Josh personally is not.
Well, I like it with this team because they have a lot of
Morris
action
Brown,
everywhere else.
Blocking call. The entirety of that Batavia bench thought they had just drawn a charge, but in reality, Morris Brown will go to the line to shoot two.
Now, I like the St. Patrick offense because they still have a lot of movement. The guys are moving around the three-point line. I don't like the swing pass offense when they're just passing it across the, passing it along and no one's moving. Not going to keep calling out the team, but I think if you've been watching me all weekend, you know exactly what team I'm thinking of. But this brand of basketball is exciting and fun.
And Morris
he
Brown
makes the first
knocks it
one.
down. You've got to be the first person I've heard who, with 2:27 to go in a second quarter, calls 12 points fun.
Well, not fun, but it's more exciting.
But that's
there's
good
more
to go.
stuff going on. There's more things happening. Besides making shots, apparently.
Now going the other way is Alex Taylor. It's a relatively fun offense. It's generated some open looks. They just haven't got them to go. On the other end, Batavia's been a bit more lucky, but not there. The Shamrocks now inside. That's as easy as they come. Andrew Ayeni able to just walk through the defense and nearly forcing a turnover there is Anthony Thomas. But
like
fortunately for the Bulldogs, they will stay with possession. Bulldogs head coach Jim Nazos, tenured here for quite a while as well. These are two well-known head coaches respected within their conferences. We'll see what he's able to do with Batavia, not only in this tournament, but moving forward as both of these teams have real hopes in their respective conference playoffs.
The sophomore on the duty of that aggressive top of a 1-3-1 zone here.
Tusana trying to work through the zone, wanted the three, thought otherwise, and it goes through his own legs. Trying to recover, that's a carry. Carrying violation will give the Shamrocks the ball.
In comes number 4 again for Batavia. That's going to be A.J. Sanders. Out goes Charlie Sowell.
AJS, those are some pretty cool initials.
Said by A.J. Swiatek.
Now checking back into the game is Sergio Rivera, the swinging offense, trying to get something going, but struggling to do so. Played the man, not the ball. Led to a wide open guy in the middle, and there's 6'9" Austin Ambrose. Have yourself a day. He's up to 6 points.
Brings the lead back to 6. Oh, great.
Backdoor feed, looked like a good pass. Couldn't get it there successfully, though. And now it will be Batavia basketball yet again. Oh my goodness. Wow, even one of the refs is confused here.
We don't know what's
shaking his head at another referee's call. Hold on, we have an official timeout, not something that happens too often. Gonna go clarify his call with the Batavia head coach. Lots of confusion there. They called a travel on the inbound on the baseline. Batavia head coach extremely frustrated with the call, but we'll see if the Shamrocks are able to capitalize when they really haven't been able to do so too much tonight. Tamaris Brown with it. Trying to go to work on Ambrose. Two big bodies clashing. And there's the travel against the Shamrocks.
It looks like Tamaris Brown thinks he's using his gather step, but I'm agreeing with these calls here where he gathers with both feet down, then steps 3 times instead of gathering with 1 foot up.
The problem with the current state of basketball, Josh, is that so many of these calls feel subjective. It's like either way it goes, it could be correct. Because you see guys like James Harden at the next level who have a step back that some older folk would consider 4 steps, but others would consider that as gather step. I mean, it's really subjective refereeing at this point. Every player has their own play style, and as you mentioned, a guy who we expected to be dominant, Tamaris Brown, has really been shut down. He hasn't looked as confident in himself strictly because of that gather step. Now under a minute to play in this second quarter. Shamrocks trailing by 6. Anthony Thomas going to work on Josh Dendart. Thomas struggling to find any room, gives off to Brown. Brown to Breland. Breland gives to Adoro. Adorno gets called for the 5-second delay of game, and he is shocked. He didn't know that was a possible call. He said, "Ref, that's a call?" He just dribbled in one spot stationary for 5 seconds. The ref was counting 5, 4, 3, 2, and eventually 1. You could see the excitement from the Batavia bench. Not a call that gets utilized too often at any level, but the delay of game there against Adorno leads to Batavia getting the final possession up by 6. Batavia will retain possession there off the tip of the Shamrock player. And there's a Batavia timeout with 4 seconds to half. 30-second timeout called by the Bulldogs head coach Jim Nazos. AJ Switek, Joshua Melvin, York Sports Network. We'll be right back after this 30-second intermission. Four seconds to go. We are back. Batavia from the baseline. We'll see what Nazos and company have drawn up for this situation. Looks like they're running an old-fashioned stack here on the left side of the key. Breaking the stack early, you could hear the frustration from the coach. Is Trent Tusana. Gives away his motion there, doesn't matter. They still get the inbound in successfully. Or do they? Jump ball goes with the Shamrocks, and with 2.5 seconds to go, they will have possession and a chance to cut this to a 1-possession lead.
Quick substitution for a really long time here for Josh Denault to be in for a long time coming up before the next break.
And here we go. 1 second left. Half-court heave. It was close, but off the mark from Brandon Adorno. And at halftime, St. Patrick Shamrocks 15, Batavia Bulldogs 21. York Sports Network, your place for all York sports. AJ Switek, Joshua Melvin. We'll be right back after this halftime intermission brought to you by the faculty of the Jack Tosh Tournament.
in the South Gym for one of the consolation games
And as we
between
speak,
Batavia.
a winner's bracket game is happening in the main Dick Campbell Gym between Glenbard West and Leo, in which Glenbard West Hilltoppers are on top 21-16. They're being played closely by Leo, which is always a feat when you're playing a team like Glenbard West. And as we get back to this game, St. Patrick tries moving too fast, and it will be Batavia basketball.
Very funny play there as Tamaris Brown throws it at the head of Bryant Handley.
2 turnovers in 10 seconds to start this half. Oh, great indoor feed. Got it. That's a great pass and finish. That will be good from the hands of Ethan Ivan to start the scoring of this second half.
3 F's to basketball, baby. Find, feed, finish.
Sergio Rivera giving up and getting an open look for his teammate. That's Brandon Adorno with a very, very tough finish. Cuts the lead right back to 6. Outside, nearly a travel, not called, however, but it's stolen regardless. And here come the Shamrocks. Great pass, great finish. That finish by Brian Hanley cuts the lead right back to 4. He's the leading scorer for either team, up with 7. Very low scoring affair, but this defensive battle turning points in transition. No, recovery by Batavia, but a sloppy recovery at that. It's St. Patrick's ball, and they travel.
I disagree with that one there. I felt like he set his base, then did a rip-through move and was about to dribble. I think that was clean, in my personal opinion.
Regardless, an unruly amount of inexcusable turnovers to start the second half. We already have 5 combined turnovers, and we're not even 2 minutes into the second half of play. Make it 6. Batavia turns the ball over. Timeout. Timeout called by head coach Mike Bailey. That's always a call I like. You notice so often at the high school level, not every timeout gets used. So if you're going to risk a possession like that, why not call timeout and maintain the ball, maintain possession, and most importantly, maintain an opportunity to score. But with 6:21 to go here in this third quarter, St. Patrick Shamrocks trail 19-23 at the hands of the Batavia Bulldogs, led by head coach Jim Nazos. York Sports Network, your place for all York sports. We'll be back after this timeout. And we are back following that 30-second timeout called by head coach Mike Bailey, and it's Shamrocks basketball. Andrew Ayeni with it now, getting it to the corner. Good ball movement here from the Shamrocks. Open wing shot, he got it. Form reminds me of Maceo Teague. The make reminds me of Stephen Curry because it was nothing but nylon for Sergio Rivera.
Very impressive there, and then brings it within a 1-point lead. For the first time, it comes within 1 possession since the beginning of the game. Turnover there.
This Shamrocks team has come out of half with adjustments, and I'll tell you, they are good ones as that shot's nearly in, but a recovery by Batavia. The ball will stay with the Shamrocks, however. But I'll tell you, head coach Mike Bailey has experience, and he's showing it on display. In that short 10-minute halftime period, this Shamrocks team looks like a completely different squad, and you can see why they came into the tournament with 8 wins.
Definitely, as they really started to look like the Shamrock team that was coming into the tournament with an 8-2 record and quite the good plus-minus with plus 112. Turnaround jumper here.
Exactly, Josh. And I told you going into the game, I said, if this is going to be a blowout in one direction, I would expect it to be in the Shamrocks' corner. I mean, their only loss in the tournament came to the Glenbard West Hilltoppers, who are undeniably the top team in the state until someone beats them and shows otherwise, as they are currently playing Leo only on top by 1. But, I mean, as I mentioned, they are still the top dogs. They're the top team in the state, top team in this tournament. So having to play them in the second round was no easy feat for these Shamrocks. Now tied up with Batavia, they've come out of half strong, and I would really not be surprised if we saw them pull away here a bit, as they looked really good out of half. Mike Bailey has his guys oiled and ready.
deep.
He gets them
Interesting
both.
free throw routine. Gets all the way down to, you know, a really deep squat position, and then comes all the way up.
And he was the one who I said reminded me of Maceo Teague's form in the shoot-around. Not the most well-known guy. Went to Baylor, now playing with the Utah Jazz, but he's got the double hitch of sorts and digs really deep into his form, as you mentioned, in both free throws and regular shots. But if it goes in, it goes in. That was Lonzo Ball's big knock coming into the league, and look what he's doing now.
Great passing here by Batavia.
Really good ball movement, leads to the layup where he throws it too hard off the backboard, but he's able to get his own offensive rebound. Open corner three, no. And the Shamrocks yet again pushing the pressure. They see something they like in transition. Batavia forces the turnover now. Going the other way is Toscana. Gets it to the corner, wide open three. He'll get it this time. Nothing but nylon for number 3, Ethan Ivan. Hop step, no good. Recovery goes with Batavia, who's on top by 2. Foul called. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. That was almost an and 1 for Trent Toscana.
Great, exciting basketball here. Back and forth between these two teams. If you're come on over, we're hopefully welcoming a lot of new viewers as this Glenbard West Leo game goes into halftime. Glenbard West on top by 3. Leo giving them a run for money so far.
Absolutely interesting to pay attention to a game like that. Leo came into the tournament with a near plus 100 point differential and only 5 games played. So that's an average of 20 points ahead of their opponent in each of their 5 games for their wins, which is very impressive. It'll be interesting to see what they do against the Hilltoppers in the second half. But back to the matter at hand, we have a good game on our hands here all of a sudden. Batavia only on top by 3. Shamrocks have upped to push the pressure in the second half, and it's absolutely worked on both ends.
Only down by 1 possession, the Shamrocks are. They go in, kick out for the 3. Gonna try for the tie.
No good. But the rebound, however, just the bigger guy, and he'll be fouled on the way up. Batavia wanted the jump ball, doesn't get it, and Tamaris Brown will go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
I really love watching Tamaris Brown play. A big man who can move like that, extremely athletic and silky smooth with his movements. Seems like everything is controlled there.
Absolutely. Now he goes to the line to shoot 2. First one's off the front iron. And Tamaris Brown, listed at a height of 6'6", the senior forward. He's definitely the biggest guy on the floor right now, as long as Austin Ambrose isn't out there.
As he just checked back in.
He has. Cuts the lead back to 2 after the made free throw. Now it goes with Nathan Nano. Gives it to his guy in the corner, no good, but Nano gets his own rebound. Back to Tucson. Tucson to Sanders. Back to Tucson on the skip pass. He'll opt to bring it in himself. Finds his open teammate in the corner. No. He's normally good from there, Ethan Ivan, but not that time. Shamrocks with a chance to tie or potentially take the lead.
3 minutes 30 remaining in the third
Adorno
quarter.
got it! Brandon Adorno, deep 3, doesn't matter. He got it, and the Shamrocks have the lead for the first time in this ball game. Now it's Batavia opting for skip passes of their own. Leads to an open Tucson shot just off the front of the iron. Shamrocks going the other way, pushing the pressure. That was a great pass, bobbled and recovered. Inside now, it's a charge. Charge called against number 11, Nico Soriano. That'll be his first foul, team second this half. 90-second mask mandate timeout is called by the officials. We have a good one on our hands here, folks. St. Patrick on top 28-27. And Josh, this one has been interesting. Right when it looked like Batavia was going to pull away, it looked like this team just had the oomph, that it factor, if you will, that St. Patrick's didn't have. I'll tell you, they certainly have had an answer in the second half, have the Shamrocks. Shamrocks have looked much better defensively, still having a bit of an issue on the offensive end turning it over, but regardless, they've done enough to get themselves in the driver's seat and ultimately take the lead. So Josh, what does the Shamrocks team have to do to maintain a lead going into this fourth quarter?
Well, they've really been outplaying this Batavia team, with Batavia only scoring 6 points, but then St. Patrick's Shamrocks scoring all the way up to 13 points in this second half so far. And they've really done a good job. As I said in the beginning, I like their offense. It's really exciting. There's a lot of stuff going on. And finally, they're hitting their shots. They're finally hitting their shots, and that was all that they really needed to do to really convert, because they were getting quite good looks. I mean, nothing's perfect, especially in a game as intense as this. Like, even though this is a loser's bracket game, both these teams are well above 500 and both really good teams. So that's the exciting part about this sort of game. So then this St. Patrick's team is finally able to hit their shots and make this a competitive game. And they just got to keep doing that and keep forcing turnovers. But I think they got to slow it down on offense. They keep trying to take advantage of those fast break, which leads to their sloppiness.
So essentially, slow down the pace and hit your shots, and you should be good in terms of head coach Mike Bailey's Shamrocks. We'll see if that holds true. Batavia going the other way. Cusano with it now. He'll take it all the way inside.
Good
clean block from number 23, Bryant Hanley. Able to get around and stop Austin Ambrose from what would have been very easy points. And Ambrose, I noticed right in the warm-ups, he's a huge dude listed at 6'9". I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been more of a factor on the offensive end. Ambrose, 6 points to this point, nothing to scoff at, but I was expecting him to get more involved. If Batavia wants to get themselves out to the lead they had in the first half, I would like to see Austin Ambrose more involved.
Definitely. I mean, I think the main thing is just because of the, there isn't any, this isn't a small St. Patrick's team, as Ethan Ivan ties the game here with his first free throw. But then, you have Tamaris.
And the lead goes back to Batavia.
Tamaris, I'm trying to find it.
Tamaris Thomas. Tamaris Brown, sorry.
Tamaris Brown.
Number 30.
Tamaris Brown is a big dude himself, and he is playing the middle of that 1-3-1 zone, and he's been able to really stifle any opportunities that they give him in the post with really active hands.
And there's the man. Tamaris Brown just off the mark. That one actually did hit a piece up in the backboard, but no call for out of bounds there.
So as you see here, you have Brown in the center, who's really been effective there with those quick hands. Great play
defensive
there.
Stand, really heads-up play by Bryant Hanley to get his hand in there, but he went for the flashy play, went for the dunk. Could have easily laid it down, but he wanted to throw it down and left 2 points on the board.
Hopefully Tamaris Brown can take advantage of that opportunity and convert on these 2 free throws here.
Absolutely, as he was fouled on the putback attempt there. Both teams now with 3 fouls in the second half. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in this third quarter. Brown's first one's off the mark. Second one will now be just for the tie.
Comes back in Elijah Breland.
He gets the second one, though. The shooter, Tamaris Brown, gets the second one, and we are deadlocked at 29 with 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Third quarter of action has brought a lot of intrigue. Right when it looked like St. Patrick's was starting to struggle, Batavia might have pulled away. No, they've come away and they've come out sharp here in the second half to lead to a tie ball game. And that's an errant pass from Austin Ambrose. I know I just said I wanted him more involved. Of course, Ambrose, the older brother of Jack Ambrose, we've seen so many brothers in this tournament, would have liked to see him more involved on the offensive end, but that's just not a pass that's excusable. Now it's Brandon Adorno with it.
Tie game, just less than 2 minutes left to go.
Gives up to Elijah Breland.
Step back 3.
Breland.
Fancy.
He wanted to call that one in, but definitely missed it a little bit short. There is a call on the floor, however, and it looks like it'll come against St. Patrick. That foul comes on number 25, Sergio Rivera, his first, team's 4th. Now it's Batavia with possession. 1:30 to go in this third quarter of action. A.J. Sanders, the guy they've opted to have the ball in his hands here late into the third quarter. After the struggles at the start, he's been the guy they've turned to bring the ball up court. Sanders, the senior guard, listed at 5'10", definitely opting for seniority in this situation, and he'll take the three himself and nearly bury it, but doesn't get the shooter's roll. And now with just under a minute to play, it is Shamrocks basketball. Open mid-range jumper, no. Rebound Batavia. Going the other way are the Bulldogs. Tucson gives it to the corner, but it's stolen. Going the other way now are the Shamrocks. Great heads-up play yet again by Handley. And he's on the baseline. Wasn't paying attention to where he was standing. That's a big mental error from Sergio Rivera. And now with 43 seconds to go, if head coach Jim Nazos does please, his team can hold the ball for the last shot, all deadlocked here at 29.
Yeah, last shot here they won in the third quarter. Maybe try and get a little lead going into a little bit momentum going into the fourth quarter. This third quarter has been quite the exciting one.
Now they give back to A.J. Sanders. Senior trying to make something happen on the offensive end. Just under 20 seconds now to go in this third quarter.
Great
Sanders tries to go to Tucson, but yet again, Handley gets a hand in there. Off the mark on the offensive end, however. Batavia will have the ball with 2 seconds left. 1 second left. That shot is good. If it goes, it's not. Off the front iron, and heading into this fourth quarter, we will be tied. 29 St. Patrick's Shamrocks, 29 Batavia Bulldogs. Your Sports Network, your place for all Jack, Tosh, and York coverage. We'll be right back after this quarter intermission. And we are back. Action resumes at the start of the fourth quarter. Got a request, and a rightful request at that, to give a shout out to the great job of the referees of this Jack Tosh tournament. It's been an active one here. Lots of calls, lots of turnovers, lots of fouls, and now action's underway. Fourth quarter getting ready to play. We're all tied at 29.
Definitely. I've noticed that the refs haven't actually been affecting all these games. There's not been really any major controversial calls. So good job by them throughout the entire tournament.
Absolutely, that's exactly what you want to hear. That shot from the wing, wide open all the time in the world to load that one up, but it won't go. Now going the other way. No good. Rebound to the Shamrocks. That reverse layup is good, however. Great go up and finish job by Brian Handley, and he has absolutely been my MVP of this second half. Handley's had his play in nearly every single play in the defensive end. He has his hand in almost all of them, and he's done a great job causing havoc for this Batavia offense.
And leading scorer for the St. Patrick's with 9 is Handley.
A.J. Sanders with it. Gives up top. Oh, and that's a foul. You can see the frustration from Brandon Adorno. It's his second, team's 5th.
In comes comes Alex Taylor. Out goes Charlie Sowell.
Now here comes Sanders.
This 1-3-1 has been extremely effective in the second half, causing endless amounts of turnovers and tumultuate no real open areas for this Batavia offense.
Corner
Here's
three.
one.
Got it. Lead goes back to Batavia. Both these offenses lighting up here in the second half. Ethan Ivan, the name of intrigue heading into this one, gets his name called here in the fourth quarter. Now just over 6 minutes to play.
He is Batavia's leading scorer and the game's leading scorer with 14, but he does have 3 fouls, so that's something to watch. As they do play man defense here for Batavia. If I were them and you're playing man, trying to attack him, get him out of the game.
Corner three is good. All of a sudden, the offense has arrived. Andrew Ayeni puts the Shamrocks back on top by 2. Nearly an errant pass, but a good recovery from Batavia. No! Brian Hanley, who else to get their hand in there? He should be started to call the claw, because this man is nearly up to double-digit steals in this game. That shot from the wing, no good. With 5:30 to play, it's the Batavia Bulldogs trailing by 2. This consolation ladder game has turned into a good one, Josh.
Definitely an extremely exciting game, as well as I just love watching both sides of the ball because the defense and offense for both teams is firing on all cylinders. So the first half it was kind of weird because both were stagnant and bad for both teams on both sides of the ball, and now they're both being highly proficient.
Absolutely, as senior A.J. Sanders was just off the mark there, and now with under 5 minutes to play, the Shamrocks maintain possession. Inside, floater. No good from Andrew Ayeni, going the other way with Batavia trying to capitalize. Cusano's gonna push his way inside. That would have been a finish, huh? Just too much on it, and it's off the mark. Now it's Hanley.
Euro
off
step,
the mark is own.
reverse.
And a foul called down on the baseline. We'll see who it's on, but it will be inevitably on a Shamrock there. Looks like it comes against number 24, Brandon Adorno. He's up to 3 now.
You were talking about steals as the timeout comes. It looks like no, just substitutions. You were talking about steals. St. Patrick, as you said, alone. Is it Brian? It is Bryant Hanley.
We'll have to watch back because we know that the tournament record was broken yesterday with 17 steals, but this team's getting close. I mean, in the second half, this St. Patrick's team has come alive defensively. They played aggressive and led to looks like that off the hands of Austin Ambrose.
And then, actually, fun fact, this St. Patrick team in 2016 set the record for most steals per game in a tournament with 11.2, and the most in one game. They were the previous record holder with 16.
This team is very good at getting the ball away from their opponents. When it's time to up the pressure, Mike Bailey is not afraid to tell his guys to get aggressive, go for those 50-50 balls, and it's worked here in the second half. That fading jumper, tough look, off the mark from Nico Soriano.
St. Patrick still with the lead. They keep looking to that corner 3.
For the lead. Got it! That shot is good. Alex Taylor knocks it down. Batavia's on top by 1. This is going to come down to the wire, folks. Don't go anywhere yet. 3:39 to go. 35-34. Batavia Bulldogs on top of the St. Patrick Shamrocks. Nearly turning it over, but the recovery from Adorno. Able to get it to his guy in the corner. That's Brown, who is somehow able to get it off of a Batavia defender. Head coach Jim Nazos extremely frustrated with the call, but regardless, a timeout on the floor will lead to a little timeout from us as well. 3:21 to play. Batavia Bulldogs 35, St. Patrick Shamrocks 34. York Sports Network, your place for all Jack Tosh coverage. We'll be right back after this timeout. we are back. Shamrocks with possession and a chance to take the lead. Brian Hanley, the man to inbound. Gives it outside to Adorno. Adorno lucky to recover there. It's to Brown. Gives it to Rivera. Every Shamrock has touched the ball this possession. That's what that swing offense does. They all play everywhere. Back to Brown on the perimeter. Trying to find any opening in this swarming defense, doing everything they can to generate an open look. Brown now driving inside, finds his open teammate outside. No, that's off the mark from Andrew Ayeni. But the offensive rebound by Brandon Adorno will send him to the line to shoot two. One will tie, two will take the lead.
Wow, this is turning into what a fun game this is. High-paced, high effort, a lot of shots, a lot of makes in this second half. Really competitive matchup between St. Patrick and Batavia.
Likely some of the biggest free throws of his career. The first one is good from Brandon Adorno. We have a tie ball game with 2:44 to go in this fourth quarter.
I've been thinking this whole time, I'm still confused at why Batavia is black and bright red. If you look at the sideline, Batavia coaches are wearing their Batavia merchandise. Lane violation.
A lane violation. It would have been good if it had counted, but it doesn't. And now, stepping away from the colors of the jerseys, it's 35-35 with under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Great
the inside
there.
give, but
what
it's
a
blocked.
block by
Huge
Ramos.
block by Tamaris Brown. And a foul in transition comes against Tusana.
Tusana with his third foul.
It'll be 4 fouls total for the team.
You know what's really surprising? If you look at the scoreboard, 0 fouls so far for the big man, Austin Adorno.
Austin Ambrose.
Ambrose, my bad.
All good. But here we go, 2:16 to play, all tied up. The Shamrocks with a chance to take the lead. 3 ball. No good, and there's Ambrose on the board, and he's fouled on the way down. And that is the guy who's been really frustrated with the reffing tonight. That's Brandon Adorno. He's been vocal about it. You can see it after most calls against the Shamrocks. That'll be his 3rd foul on the night. And that sends Ambrose to the line to shoot 1 and 1. Ambrose, a big guy, but he can absolutely hold his own from the line.
That puts, and the reason that is because Batavia is in the bonus.
However, he's off there, but an offensive rebound goes to Batavia. Inside, Tusana able to draw the contact and the foul. As you mentioned earlier, Josh, he's done it a few times tonight. Throws the ball real hard off the backboard. You can see Mike Bailey vocalizing it to his bench. No reason to make any contact there. He's clearly trying to draw the foul, just throws the ball off the backboard to generate the shooting foul, and now he gets 2 free throws at the line. First one is good from Tusana. Batavia now on top by 1. Tusana's second one. Can't get that one. It'll be a 1-point deficit for the Shamrocks with the basketball. Sergio Rivera with it. Going to work on Tusana. Gives it to Adorno. Foul in a big moment. The senior guard, number 4, AJ Sanders, gets his hand in a play that wasn't necessarily necessary. And now the next foul against Batavia will send the Shamrocks to the line.
Could not stop his momentum coming off the screen there.
Now it goes to Hanley. Hanley has had himself a second half. Deep 2, got it! Lead goes back to the Shamrocks. That shot is good from number 25, Sergio Rivera. His 7th point of the night, and if you look at how spread the scoring is for the Shamrocks, they have 37 points, but no one is yet to hit double digits. 7 for him, 6 for Adorno. Looks like Brown sitting at 6 as well. Ayeni with 9, as well as number 23, Brian Hanley with 9, and he gets fouled on the way up. Brown trying to make his case there, but he will not have it made. Damaris Brown, that's his second foul, team's 9th. They're now 1 away from the bonus plus. And sending Austin Ambrose to the line yet again. He was unsuccessful on his last trip, but he'll guaranteed get 2 attempts this time. Ambrose's first one. Oh, rolls in and out. The best he could do now on this trip to the line is tie. 1 minute and 7 seconds to go in this one. Huge shot on the way from Austin Ambrose. Second one from Ambrose. He got it. He won't miss that one. Nothing but nylon. 1 minute and 7 to go. The fans are into it. The benches are into it. Everyone's standing up. Here we go. 1 minute to play. 37-37. Let's see what head coach Mike Bailey has drawn up for his boys.
Will they try and get the last shot?
Outside. Open 3. No. Defensive rebound goes to Batavia. But there's a whistle and a timeout called by Jim Nazos. The Batavia Bulldogs will have possession with 48.3 seconds to go. You're home, your Dukes walking into the gym. They're about to get to tune into a good one. We're deadlocked at 37, 48.3 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. York Sports Network, AJ Swiatek, Joshua Melvin will be back after this Batavia timeout. Following the blowing of the horn, both teams still in the huddles, but they'll have to break it here. 48.3 seconds to go. We're all tied up at 37 in this fourth quarter of action. Batavia Bulldogs ball. We'll see if they opt to hold for the last shot. I haven't personally been able to see head coach Jim Nazos in this position, but as you know, Josh, when there's no shot clock at the high school level, they don't have to be in any sort of rush here. The only way they will be rushing is if the Shamrocks defense is able to force pressure, which they have been able to do in the second half.
Definitely. They will keep that pressure on and keep it going, because this Batavia offense has not really been able to get anything, as they've only scored 16 points in the entire second half so far. As it looks like they are trying to just pass it around, no real penetration or off-ball movement, trying to get an open shot. They're trying to get the last shot, and they feel like they have the momentum.
Timeout called, and I was just going to say it would be a good time for one. They forced A.J. Sanders to dribble, what you don't want to do against this trapping zone. A.J. Sanders forced to try to do something on his own there, but now with 27.9 seconds to go, we're still tied at 37. Batavia still has the basketball, and Josh, this is your time to shine. They called their timeout. They won't be able to call another one until they get it in. What does Batavia have to draw up here to stop a St. Patrick's team that's come out firing? They've come out aggressive, and head coach Mike Bailey has really done a good job of stopping this Batavia team in the second half.
You know, I really think that you have to go to your leading scorer. You have to go to Isaac. Ethan Ivan, your leading scorer tonight. He's hit 3 corner threes, 9 of his 14 points there, and I think you got to get him wide open in the corner. You really trust him to hit that, and that's the shot you really want. You put it in the best position, in a corner 3, or obviously a layup. If you can get Ambrose inside for an easy, simple layup, that's obviously what you want. But if you can't do that, which they haven't been able to this entire second half, you really want to get that corner 3 with Ethan Ivan. And then if you're St. Patrick, you can really go to anyone. As we said, there's no one with double digits here on the team so far. So none of them have really been standing out.
So versatile. Coach Mike Bailey doing a really good job of getting everybody involved, Josh. And I think it'll be interesting to see what he brings on the defensive end here. It looks like they may be switching to a man from their typical trappy zone. But regardless, we do see a press come out. No reason to just let them have their will. If they're going to run down the clock, at least make it a bit hard on them. The pass to A.J. Sanders. Sanders trapped in the corner. There. And another timeout called by Jim Nazos. I'll tell you, it isn't the most exciting. He's called 3 timeouts in the last 30 seconds of action, but it's exactly what I'd do as a head coach. So many times you see coaches just hold on to their timeouts, they just wait to use them for a time that never comes. And now, yes, Batavia is out of timeouts in this game, but this isn't the NBA. It's not like a timeout would bring you to half court at the end of the game if it was absolutely necessary. It's now or never, and I like it. Yet again, he saw the ball in A.J. Sanders' hands. He saw a guy dribbling who he didn't necessarily want to, and he lets his offense reset, lets them draw a play again, and now he gets to adjust to what this St. Patrick's defense is doing.
Definitely, and they haven't really been able to adjust. And if I'm a head coach, you know, I love excitement as an announcer. I love it as a fan. But like, if you're a head coach, you're not coaching to excitement. You're coaching to win. And how do you win the most? Is what you got to do is you've got to plan the most. You got to be the most prepared. And giving 3 timeouts for 3 different opportunities to look, 3 more opportunities to look at how the St. Patrick's is playing their defense. They're still playing that 1-3-1 zone because that's been so problematic for Batavia.
Absolutely, and although I side with Jim Nazos as the buzzer sounds, only time will tell if he made the right call. No timeouts now for the Batavia Bulldogs. If they get in a sketchy position, they're going to have to play it out, and we'll have to see what happens. It's Charlie Saul to inbound. Here Jim Nazos trying to clarify what he just called in that huddle.
Throws it to the back court. Interesting choice.
The give to Alex Taylor. Taylor trying to work in an odd man rush. Gives it to Saul. Saul to Tusana. 6 seconds to go.
Steal
Gets it inside, but it's a steal. Going the other way. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. St. Patrick, it's good if it goes. Air ball. No good. Overtime will be necessary to decide this one. Winner moves on in the consolation bracket. Loser goes home. That shot from Brown looked good. It was just a few feet short, but regardless, following this quick intermission, we will have a 37-37 tie going into overtime. This is what we live for. This is what the Jack Tosh is all about. Josh, who do you have? What has intrigued you the most, and who do you think is going to walk away with the win?
Well, I think all of the momentum is in favor of St. Patrick. Like, I thought Batavia, if they were going to win the game,
it had to be there.
It had to be that possession because they called 3 timeouts. They used all of their plays. They looked at all of their options, and guess what happened? A turnover, and that's not good for the morale of this team. And if you're the head coach, Mike Bailey of St. Patrick, you're in love with your roster right now, as they've been able to force turnovers so many times here, and they've been able to convert a lot, which allowed them to come back from the larger deficit at halftime with 10 seconds remaining in this little intermission in between overtime, which is going to be a 4-minute overtime, half the length of a normal quarter.
You hate to say it, but you really have to assume that head coach Jim Nazos agrees with you there. He thought that was his chance to win, because now that he's burned through those timeouts, which I was personally a fan of, he will have 1 in overtime, whereas head coach Mike Bailey will have 4 in his pocket to work with. At the high school level, your timeouts convert to overtime plus the 1 additional one they give you. So this will be interesting. The Shamrocks have more timeouts in their pocket. They certainly have the momentum in their quarter, but we've seen what this Batavia team was able to do in the first half when everything was clicking. They just have to get back to that stage of offense. Setting up for the jump ball is Tamaris Brown and Austin Ambrose. 2 tall guys, both can get up, but it's won by the St. Patrick Shamrocks. Although he didn't have the same height there, Tamaris Brown jumped higher than Ambrose and won it for his team. Now inside. That look is good. Shot goes down from Andrew Ayeni, and we have our first double-digit scorer of the ball game from St. Patrick's. Ayeni's now up to 11. Batavia looking for an answer of their own. A.J. Sanders gives it up. Tusana, deep contested 3. He got it! To 3, rolls off the rim. Tusana extends the lead to 1. Batavia 40 versus St. Patrick's 39. We are in for a good one. 3 minutes, 17 seconds to play. Brown inside, doing his coveted spin. Great move, followed on the way up. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
What a move there. I love that spin back, pump fake, pull your right leg forwards and use your left as a pivot to get a nice little floater. What a move there. Unfortunately, not able to finish, but we'll have the opportunity to still tie the game or take the lead here with free throws.
And that's a great consolation prize. Great move by him to force the foul. Brown's first one. Oh, wow. That's about as close as they come. Looked like it was going to fall, but it rolled out, and now the best Brown could do on this trip to the free throw line is tie it back up at 40.
Saul, the only bench player out there currently, as he just checked in for A.J. Sanders.
Coach Jim Nazos definitely has some intrigue right now in my eyes with AJ Sanders. He called the timeout multiple times when he started dribbling just instantly, and now he goes to the bench. We'll see what happens with that situation, but regardless, as you mentioned, only one player from the original bench out there for either squad.
Bryant Hanley getting a little physical there. I like that they didn't call it because I just think you've got to let the kids play during overtime. Let it get a little physical.
Alex Taylor, they wanted an over and back. It was close, but it gets back to Taylor.
I think we're right at half court. Think he stayed.
Oh,
Foul
wow,
there.
and there's the foul against Bryant Hanley, and that's a big one because that's Hanley's fourth. He's in major foul trouble. The star-studded defender now one foul away from fouling out of this game, and when he has been the guy who's been forcing all these turnovers, it is extremely interesting to see what they'll do with him.
Definitely, I think
first one misses.
I think he's got to get a little bit more cautious. That time, you know, it was virtually the same as before, but last time when they didn't make the call, he didn't make clear contact. That time he smacked his forearm about as hard as you can. So he gets the free throws.
Wow.
Misses both.
And,
tie game.
You know, after
still.
this game, that just reminded me, we're going to have to retally because it seems as though right when Mike Bailey heard that his single game steal record was broken, he came right back for it because Hanley, those 4 fouls, he has at least double that in steals, and the whole team's doing well in that department. Oh my goodness, it's a block. Batavia got excited. They thought they had a charge, but instead, St. Patrick's will go to the line. Tamaris Brown will shoot 2 for a chance at the
lead. They are
lead.
not happy about that, but once again, I agree with the call. His feet were not set. They were still moving. That's a blocking foul right there.
That is the rule set. If feet are moving, if the base is not set, it is a block. And Brown taking advantage of his opportunities, gets the first one to go at the line and gets up to 8 points on the night.
Clutch plays here by Tamaris Brown.
Brown's second free throw off the mark. It will be a 1-point St. Patrick's lead, but a great recovery from Bryant Hanley. The guy playing with 4 fouls is playing just as aggressive because he is everywhere. I'll tell you, as a coach, he's the kind of guy you want to play for your team.
Definitely. Very active on the defensive end and offensive end, and that's what you love to see.
All the way inside, he got it! Number 25, Sergio Rivera, and this lead is up to 3 with under 2 minutes to go in this overtime.
A 3-pointer to tie. Aggressive closeout there as they're trying to prevent any sort of 3.
Oh my goodness, who else but Bryant Hanley got himself in the passing lane. Able to stop the momentum of the drive, as you mentioned, and Mike Bailey still very excited by it. Great heads-up play. I'll tell you, I would love to see Bryant Hanley's 40-yard dash time because he is one of the most laterally quick players in this Jack Tosh tournament. But there, he just leaves the shooter open. Tusana off the mark, but the recovery and put in from Ethan Ivan, and we're back to a 1-point St. Patrick's lead. A minute 30 now to go in this overtime. St. Patrick's with the ball, up by 1. Driving inside, no need to rush. There is no shot clock at the high school level. A minute 25 now to go.
1-point lead for St. Patrick. Euro step there.
But there's a
timeout.
Timeout before the Euro step. That timeout by Mike Bailey was one for the ages. Amazing call from the head coach, and really for good reason. In my eyes, that is huge because you saw the ref closest to us counting off the 5 seconds. He had gotten to about 4.5 there. He was about a half second away from calling that a delay of game. Mike Bailey pre-evitably calls the timeout. It's a good one. Although fans who don't understand that may not understand, it's a huge make. It could have been a huge make, but regardless, a nice timeout for Mike Bailey to prevent the delay of game.
Now, if you are watching the stream, you're looking, you just saw me ran over to the guys to our right. Those are our stat guys. Thank you so much, stat guys, for keeping track of everything. I need to hear the steal total. Because I went over there and asked for the steal total. Former record 16, new record 17, 1 minute 20 seconds left, 14 steals so far.
14 steals.
They're close. They are very close. I
St.
forgot to
Patrick's,
ask
of course, held the record back in from 2016 to modern day. The record was broke yesterday by Conant.
Palatine with the record.
Yesterday. Now the record is only 3 steals away. St. Patrick's has always been good at getting it done. Mike Bailey likes his scrappy basketball, and it's really worked out here. The forcing of turnovers is what has his boys in a position to win, and now coming out of the huddle, we'll see what he has drawn up for his team with a chance to extend their lead.
St. Patrick's ball, they go with the stack on the baseline, except Tomas Johnson.
Look to Brown outside.
Brown, I don't know why I said Johnson.
Brown in no kind of rush there.
Neither is St. Patrick. They got the lead. They can take all the time they want.
Exactly, as I was saying, Brown now resets the offense yet again, and he'll take it up top. Give off to Adorno.
But it does not look like they're doing what other teams do.
Sergio Rivero with the sloppy pass. And it's barely recovered by the Bulldogs, but with under a minute to play, the ball is in Batavia's possession. Tusana finds the open guy in the corner. Ethan Ivan opts not to raise up and shoot it. He's normally good from there. He'll do it this time.
Looking for the foul. No good. Great offensive rebound there by
wants
Ambrose.
To go up, gives it out to Tusana, finds his open teammate. AJ Sanders working inside, hits his guy in the corner. Got it! The shot is good! Batavia Bulldogs up by 2 with 30 seconds to go. Timeout, Mike Bailey. Oh my goodness. Talk about a grown man make. Stepping up in the biggest time possible. Absolutely massive. Bulldogs on top by 2.
Cannot believe that insane shot. They did get that corner three I was talking about to Ethan Ivan, but then number 13, Alex Taylor, was able to hit it in the corner, coming off the bench, not starting for this team, comes on and hits the clutchest three of the game and possibly one of the most clutch threes in his life.
Alex Taylor now up to 9 points on the game. We haven't heard his name much since the first half. Absolutely massive corner three from him. Right when it seemed like all hope was lost, the height of 6'9" Austin Ambrose was able to get the rebound, get the ball out, heads up play from the senior AJ Sanders to dribble in, find his guy outside, and let Alex Taylor do the rest. But now for St. Patrick's. Head coach Mike Bailey was just charged with the timeout. He has 2 left in this overtime period, but with 26.5 seconds to play, there is a lot of intrigue here. This is an offense that has been able to generate in the second half, Josh. So in the short time that we have, what do they have to do to be able to do so here?
What you got to do for this, they haven't been able to really score much in this overtime period. And I think what you really got to do is you got to get another open chance at a layup, because their threes have not really been hitting consistently. They've been going on hot streaks and cold streaks throughout the entire game, so you can't really trust the three here. They're going to look to Brian Hanley. Give it to him.
Here we go. It goes to Adorno. Now an NBA shot clock left to play. Brown rises up for the three. Exactly what you said not to do. Jump ball!
Batavia's ball.
With Batavia, but great heads-up play there from Brian Hanley as now the possession arrow points in favor of the Shamrocks. Batavia now likely will get fouled and sent to the line unless if a turnover is forced. And in saying so, although they haven't been too successful from the charity stripe tonight, they really are 2 makes away from all but icing this game away with 18 seconds left. Josh, this game has been wild. Batavia gets possession yet again. Winner moves on in the consolation ladder. Loser goes home. AJ Switek, Joshua Melvin. We'll be right back after this timeout break. The horn sounds, we are back. Batavia Bulldogs basketball. Shamrock still in the huddle. We'll see what they opt to do. They've been really, really good at causing turnovers in this second half. Don't have to foul immediately, but eventually, if you can't get the ball out of Batavia's hands, you're going to have to hope the luck factor kicks in. They cannot make both free throws. Batavia up by 2, looking to inbound. Guarded tightly there. No foul called. Now it's still trapping. Is that a jump ball? It is!
St. Patrick's ball.
Oh, wait. The
No, they did
arrow-
not fix the arrow. It's St. Patrick's
It is
ball.
St. Patrick's ball. The arrow was not fixed, but now there is confusion on the floor because they're pointing at the ref saying, my boys thought that we had the possession arrow facing our way, and rightfully so, as the guy in the possession arrow did not correct it. And now we'll have to see what they end up going with. Do they denote to what is correct, or do they denote to what was on the floor? I honestly am not aware, but head coach Mike Bailey seems upset with whatever this is.
And they got to go with it correctly because very obviously it looks like they might give it to Batavia. So much for what we were saying before that, oh my goodness, they do give it to Batavia.
So that's 2 straight jump balls that go with Batavia. That's just a blatant miss, and as you mentioned, the refs hadn't had any blatant calls. Well, that's a huge one. I don't know who's functioning the possession arrow, but that is unbelievable.
That is awful.
2 straight jump balls go in the direction of Batavia.
It's not like
Mike
I would
Bailey
be less
is
mad.
rightfully fuming right now. I mean, this is unbelievable.
I would be less mad if it wasn't like the jump ball just happened. The jump ball was literally the last turnover that happened maybe 30 seconds ago, and somehow the rest and the team and the possession arrow guy and everyone except for St. Patrick and half of the fans here and somehow got memory loss over the past 30 seconds.
As a fan of one of these teams, just as a fan of basketball, that is really hard to watch. St. Patrick's got the turnover they needed. They forced the jump ball, but Batavia somehow maintains possession just because the possession arrow was not switched beforehand. It doesn't make any sense. I'm shocked they don't go with the correct notation there. But regardless, Batavia now gives themselves a second chance from the baseline.
Improbable. And it's almost like we're streaming the game and they literally have video evidence and they can see that Batavia was the last people and the last team to get a jump ball in their favor. And this
now
might
under
cost
10 seconds to go. We'll see if St. Patrick's opts to foul. They do. The foul comes against Ambrose, and honestly, a great heads-up play from Tamaris Brown to force the pass, make it seem as though Ambrose was open because he has struggled from the line tonight. But now with 5 seconds to go, what should have been St. Patrick basketball trailing by 2, we'll see what it ends up being.
Yeah, and great job there to pass it into whoever was being guarded by Brian Tanley.
First one is good. We are a free throw away from a Batavia victory.
And, you know, thing here is with Brian Handley, he had 4 fouls, and he knew that he couldn't foul, and that's how they were able to waste another 6 seconds off the clock.
Here we go. This free throw would all but seal the game. He misses. Rebound goes to the Shamrocks. No! Goes to Batavia. He'll dribble it out for the win. That is game over. Batavia Bulldogs, with a bit of conspiracy, a bit of controversy, whatever you want to say, Batavia walks away with the win. The Bulldogs will move forward in the consolation ladder. The St. Patrick Shamrocks will walk away empty-handed. AJ Swiatek, Joshua Melvin on the call. This was a great game. Very interesting call as of late. Well, I am raring to rewatch this game and see where that went wrong. Regardless, a possession arrow could have just decided a game, but you can't blame it all on that because St. Patrick's had their opportunity and missed on the defensive glass there. Just unacceptable. Regardless, St. Patrick's walks away with the loss. The Batavia Bulldogs walk away with the win. AJ Swiatek, Joshua Melvin will be back live in about 10 minutes for your York Dukes basketball action from the South Gym.
Real quick, before you mute us, actually, next will be the Conant Cougars versus the Highland Park Giants. Next in this, next here in the South Gym, followed by St. Francis versus York. Tune back in for those later. Next game starts between Conant and Highland Park in about 9 minutes.